Good evening. Team 1 will present the British case study, learning from the past. To analyze this case, we will use this following theory: the filter contingency theory, the Kurt-Lewin transition model, Burkhardt transition model, and Pettigrew 8 factors model. We will go in details right now.
In 1971, British Rail decided to invest 30 million in technology to upgrade their total operations performance system. There were two main reasons for this. First, British Rail's main source of income was under threat. This was because of increasing competition from the road haulage industry and the severe decline of mining industry need for rail services. Second, the manual top system was unmanaged and costly. It ran on out-of-date information, and the location, freight resources of wagons, locomotives, and trains were difficult to find. The risk management objectives of computerized tops were to: first, improve the management of freight resources stock control with real-time empirical data. Second, improve information management with software designed to reject misleading information. British Rail Board of Management agreed tops must be upgraded. The chief executive officer made an agreement with the unions that the new tops would increase job opportunities. The unions agreed not to cut strike during the change process. The chief executive officer appointed a senior operations manager to head a top-down strategy of employee engagement to the technological change.
This contingency model of leadership helps us in understanding the relational impacts of the British Rail change management style. The top-down position power of the senior operations manager was strong. The task structure was high. The senior operations manager enforced his legitimate power to get the job done. Management relationship with the union was good, and it was poor with the employees. The Fielder's contingency theory proposes that if change is not achieved, it is the fault of the leader. Therefore, to improve the situation, Fielder's contingency theory suggests the leader should be changed. The senior operations manager employed a task force of graduates and operations staff members to drive the change with employee engagement and training strategies. The Fielder's contingency theory suggests there is no ideal leader. Task and relationship-oriented leaders are effective depending on the situation. It could be argued the senior operations manager task force might have offered relationship leadership in the processing of the change. However, the strong position power, high task situation, and poor leader-member relations was British Rail's chosen route.
British Rail did improve their organizational performance through a successful organizational development approach that replaced their conventional approach to human relations training with a specially designed learning approach to achieve results. However, the current state was completely changed. Workers lost power, and the feeling of loss depression that went ignored. They had to let the old patterns go because they did not have a choice. With unions on their side, the workers had no support. The regular staffs lost their power and the senior leaders gained more power, but the leaders took more risks. Future state risk management was achieved but future unknown. The workers have to fit into the new pattern. The workers now have to learn that they should do to be comfortable with their new roles. That was the reason for training. People felt uncomfortable and had to learn new skills and technology. Organizational change with the assumption that conflict between individuals and groups is a developmental process that can be reconciled. British Rail British Rail did reconcile conflict with legitimate power, preventing the change management project from foundering on the rocks of inter-management squabbles. It was successful as a result. The organizational development strength of British Rail's change management strategy was that it involved the whole organization and had a wider remit than conventional human relations training. The approach attempted to include all employees was planned and sought to improve both working conditions and organizational effectiveness.
Hi, my name is Rahul. I would like to introduce about the Kurt Lewin's change model in British top-up line of change. Unfreeze. Create the right environment. Change. That is support the change to the desired state. Refreeze. Reinforce to anchor the change. Kurt Lewin model of psychological change process that the British Rail Organizational Development Plan was linear because it was a forced change. Technological change is occurring right across the globe and at a rapid rate. If British Rail had not changed their manual top-ups, they probably would be still losing the profit and in conflict with the unions from loss of the workers' job. One theory that is relative to the British Rail case is the unfreeze, action and refreeze model of Kurt Lewin's.
How British Rail can be changed through the top systems. First of all, they are changing of management way so they can create more job opportunity for the union and the organization. Secondly, environmental pressure make organizational management change. The top system use a new method to help the organization be more efficient. Third, they use a militaristic culture to support organizational culture. Then the computerized system was connected at 150 locations nationwide. Fifth, there is no research or pilot study, only the benchmarking of American system. Six, they use the union change for cooperative international organizational network. Seventh, the top system power relationship were top to down, first and coin. Eighth, the CEO and the operation manager is the key leader of this system. So, over the team implementing the change, the leader was quickly to organize a group to get the job done. The group was very effective at completing the task, and the relationship building was a low priority.
In summary, our British Rail case study analysis adopted a conventional organisational development approach that should BT have done the same, they might have conducted a pre-trial. As it was, they dived into change management without considering Fielder's contingency model of leadership, Beckard's transitional model of organisational development, Lewin's three-step model of change, and Pettigrew's eight-step model of organisational development. Our findings suggest that Fielder's model of leadership might have helped them to reduce risk through a critical understanding of what kind of leadership style could have been adopted to achieve a good employee engagement balance. British Rail drove change from a strong industrial relations position of power, high in task structure, but poor in relations. They also dived into a linear approach to organisational development that our findings suggest left Beckard's future state of variables with controls no one in British Rail fully understood. This result also seemed to anchor Lewin's linear model into a refreeze where it could be argued that greater return on management investment was overshadowed by union expectations that the new technology would not be used to Big Brother workers. Should a BT organisational development planner have used Pettigrew's 8 steps for change, they would have become aware of how this model incorporates Fielder, Beckhardt and Lewin's findings into a systems analysis approach to interventionist organisational change management. The 8 steps of Pettigrew's change seem to highlight Beckhardt's change symptoms as causing a lot of human grief. As only the workstations of those affected by TOPS were changed in BT's drive for technological advantage, it could be argued that any identified grief might have been minimised by those directly involved in BT's success. However, despite the lack of planning in BT's organisational development, the Executive Task Force did install 150 stations of computerised TOPS, and they did provide specialised training for all the people they needed to operate the new system. And they did this under budget and before the 4-year deadline. Therefore, their change management program was a success. But the result of our analysis suggests that without futures information, it is difficult to tell.
Qui a des pieds de plomb, ça le rend